Hey, what's up, guys? I'm making a longer video than normal. This is going to be a how to make slash play Amorphages. Yeah. So I'll be going card by card and talking about like how many that you need to run of it and why you need to play it. So first card is Amorphage Leechery. You basically need to run 3 of this card because it helps stop Monarchs, Clayports, and Cosmos in some ways. Because this card, your opponent cannot activate, or near you, or your opponent cannot activate spell cards or their effects, which can really help you out a lot. Yeah, because if you go first, activate this and summon a Amorphage, they can't really do anything. Yeah. So that's why you basically need to run 3 of this guy. Amorphage Greed. He's basically your Genzo for the deck. While you control a Amorphage. This helps against a bunch of decks too, because Drying Mirror Force and Quaking Mirror Force are kind of a card that's running around right now. So Greed at 3 is very good. So yeah. And then all of the Amorphage has a clause where if this card is Pendulum Stone for a lot of the Amorphages, your opponent cannot special summon from their extra deck, which can be very useful. So yeah. And you can run 2 or 3 of Greed, but I run 3 because it's like you want to see into it as quickly as possible, so that way you're not getting completely screwed over. And then 3 Gluttony. This is probably one of your best cards for the deck. You need to absolutely run 3 of this because this guy stops your opponent's monster's effects from going off. So they can't be activated, which helps you gain advantage and they lose advantage. Yeah. So 3 of him is absolutely mandatory. And 3 Wrath is also absolutely just mandatory too. Because his pendulum effect is that monsters cannot be tributed except for Amorphage monsters. And so if you have this plus Leechery, that's a complete lockdown on your opponent. So yeah. Against Monarchs anyway. And against Clayports. So yeah. So this guy at 3 is mandatory. So yeah, at least for this format. If Monarchs get killed on the next ban list, you just have Clayports to worry about. So I'd still run it at 2 or 3 in this deck. So yeah. And then 3 Amorphage Goliath. You can run 2 of him. That's perfectly fine. But I run 3 just to see into him as quickly as possible for some cases. Because he banishes everything except for Amorphage monsters, which is very nice. And so this can help stop Clayports, Monarchs, Monarchs in some ways, and certain other decks. So yeah. And then 3 Amorphage Envy. Basically he prevents chain 2s. So let's say you play MST, your opponent cannot chain Dark Bribe or anything like that because I'd be chaining 2, and this guy prevents it. So which is very quite good. So yeah. So MD is a very good card in some ways. So 2 or 3 of him is possible. So yeah. And then 3 Morphage Pride. His pendulum effect is not that good this format. But I use him for a beat stick, so you can run 2 of him, and that's perfectly fine. But I use him for attacking, so that's all that I use him for now until, Konami comes out with something that, makes him really, really good, so. Or makes his pendulum effect really, really quite good. And then 2 Amorphage Sloth. If this deck came out back when Necros came out, this one card would have just slowed them so much down, because they can't search, and if you had Leechery on the field, they can't play spells, so it would have been a complete lockdown against them. But all that they could really do is, summon Manju and then try to search for Valk. But since Exenton Knight is banned, then you don't have to worry about him, and Laval Change banned too, so. Yeah, all that they could really do is just summon Manju, and then that's basically it, so. Which would have been very, very quite nice, so. 1 to 2 Sloth is good in this deck, so. And then 3 Fossil Dino is just nuking your whole opponent's side of the field. Especially on monsters is very, very good. So, yeah. And then 3 Scapegoat. I run Scapegoat because it produces tokens, and it's a little more slower, but it's a little more faster, because then you can actually tribute for the cost of the Amorphages in the Pendulum Zone. So, yeah. And I'd probably still run like 1 to 2 Scapegoats in here, in my opinion, but Scapegoat is a little more versatile in that way, so. And then 1 Electromagnetic Turtle. You can run 1 to 2 in here. That's perfectly fine. Just help you stall for a little bit for 1 turn until you can draw into something that can help you out. So, yeah. So that's basically it for all the monsters that you basically need to run. 3 Infection is basically mandatory for this. It helps you search for basically anything that you really need, and it gives your Amorphage monsters 100 attack boost for each Amorphage card on the field. So yeah, very, very quite good. And then Amorphage Persona, I run 2 just because the 300 attack boost is very, very nice, and that's basically kind of the reason why I run it. So, and 1 Pile of Riches. A link to a top 8 Amorphage deck will be in the description below. I did not top, of course, but I was watching a video and somebody else did, and he actually ran this, which like I said, I will link that in the description below. So if you guys are curious about that top 8 at regionals, then it's actually a very, very interesting deck, or at least build anyway. So, yeah. But Pile Riches is very, very good. You can help recycle your Leechery or Gluttony back into your deck, and then draw 2, and then be able to set up for a couple turns. So, yeah, it just helps out a lot. And then 1 1-day piece for stall, so you don't take any melee damage. So, yeah. So that's basically it for spells. Now for my 3 traps I run. Is 3 Amorphage Lysis. You can run 2, that's perfectly fine as well. I run 3 because I want to either gain in a bunch of attack or make my opponent go down a bunch of attack. So either one. So this card's versatile, and it's very, very quite good. So yeah, and then basically what you really want to do with this deck is play it smart, and I will show you guys how. So I was throwing a example hand here really quick. So let's say you open up with this type of a hand, which I will show you. Alright, so let's say you open up with this type of a hand. So basically what you want to do here is play the Wrath and the Scale, and then activate Amorphage Infection, and then set the Turtle, and then kind of pass turn from there. So you basically want to get your setup first, and then you can start going and accelerating your plays. So that's how I play this deck, because it's a lot more of a smarter move to do. So that way, you know, you kind of have a setup that you can do, and then you can just start your stun and then start accelerating your deck and summoning a bunch of monsters and then trying to swing for game. So yeah, so for my playstyle and how I described that, it works really well for me. Not in all situations, but a lot of the time it works well for me, and I can tend to draw into stuff, and plus you get the trigger off Amorphage Infection too. So that way you can draw into more stuff and then search. So, but yeah, so that's basically how to make Amorphages plus kind of play them. Like I said, you really gotta play them smart. If you overcommit too early, they can just twin twist for you or something like that, and you can just get wrecked on. So, but yeah, if you play them smart, you can and make the right plays, you can actually come out pretty good. So, but yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoy this type of video. And yeah, I'll catch you later. Alright, laters.